I never imagined that a single night could change everything. My marriage had been rocky for some time, though I hadn't fully grasped the depth of the betrayal until the pieces fell into place. My wife had been distant, secretive, and increasingly defensive whenever I asked questions. I tried to convince myself that I was imagining things, that I was overreacting, but deep down, I knew something was off. One evening, my worst suspicions were confirmed. I discovered that my wife was seeing someone else. The man she had been hiding from me was not a stranger. He was married himself. The revelation hit me like a punch to the gut, but it also ignited something I didn't expect: clarity. I realized that the people around us, the carefully curated lives we pretended to lead, were nothing more than illusions. In the days that followed, I tracked the situation carefully. I discovered his wife, a woman who had no idea about the affair. I learned her routines, her social circle, and the trust she had in her husband. I made a decision that was both calculated and cathartic. I would confront the betrayal not through violence, not through anger, but through exposure. The opportunity came in the form of a high-profile social party. It was the kind of gathering where appearances mattered, where status and reputation were everything. Invitations had already been sent to both our social circles, and I saw a chance to reveal the truth in a way that was unambiguous, undeniable, and inescapable. I invited the other woman, the wife of my wife's lover, to join me. She had no idea about the affair, no idea that the night would turn into a revelation. She trusted me implicitly when I asked her to attend. On the night of the party, everything was orchestrated carefully. We arrived together, making sure to blend into the crowd, observing the room as I gauged where my wife and her lover would be. The tension was almost electric, a quiet storm brewing beneath the laughter, the music, the clinking of glasses, and then it happened. My wife and her lover entered the room, hand in hand, expecting an ordinary evening. They didn't see me at first, didn't anticipate the confrontation that was about to unfold. I approached with the other woman by my side, and their expressions shifted almost instantly from casual confidence to confusion. "This is his wife," I said, gesturing toward her, my voice calm but deliberate. The room went silent, and I could see the panic spread across both my wife's face and her lover's. They tried to recover, tried to smooth things over, but the evidence was undeniable. The looks exchanged, the proximity, the tension, it all spoke louder than any words they could muster. The revelation was brutal. The lover's wife froze, shock etched across her face as the reality of the affair became impossible to ignore. She turned to her husband, searching for explanations, for denials, for any semblance of truth, but there was none. My wife, caught in the center of her web of lies, stammered, faltered, and then realized that the night had stripped her of every excuse. I didn't shout, I didn't accuse. I let the scene speak for itself. The people at the party, friends, acquaintances, colleagues, watched the drama unfold in stunned silence. The humiliation was public, immediate, and absolute. For the first time, the hidden betrayal could no longer hide in shadows. The aftermath was intense. Both women confronted the men in private, and I watched from a distance, my role complete. The betrayal had been exposed, reputations fractured, and lives shifted irreversibly. I felt a strange sense of satisfaction, not from cruelty, but from justice. The truth, once hidden, had been revealed, and no amount of charm or lies could undo it. In the weeks that followed, my life shifted dramatically. I separated from my wife, reclaimed my space, and focused on rebuilding my identity outside of the web of deception that had entangled me. The other woman, betrayed through no fault of her own, reached out to me later, expressing gratitude for revealing the truth before her life had been irreparably altered. Looking back, I understand now that betrayal often reveals character in ways nothing else can. My wife's affair was a test of loyalty, trust, and integrity, and she failed spectacularly. By taking deliberate, measured steps, I ensured that the consequences were visible, undeniable, and fair. The night of that party is etched into my memory, not as a moment of revenge, but as a turning point. It was the night lies were exposed, Masks fell away, and reality became unavoidable. I walked away with clarity, dignity, and the knowledge that sometimes the most brutal revelations are also the most liberating. I learned that confronting betrayal doesn't have to be about anger or violence. It can be about precision, strategy, and truth. By allowing the consequences to unfold publicly, I reclaimed control over a situation that had threatened to define my life. The lesson is simple but profound. Trust is sacred, deception is destructive, and exposure is sometimes the only path to freedom.